We are talking about the front of our homes. Now, I decided this year that I wanted to change up the front of how I styled my entryway. Every year I like to do something different, and this year I decided it was time to change out the planters. Now, you know that I like that European inspired feel, so I was on the hunt for some new planters. We are in zone 5 here in Illinois, so we get heavy freezes and cold winter weather. So I wanted something I could leave out year round, because maybe I want to put some evergreens in it for winter time. So I had to keep that in mind, because I did find some beautiful planters that I liked, but they were in terracotta. And although I really like terracotta, a lot of times, if it is not the frost-free version of terracotta, it will crack in zone 5 if left out over winter, as well as a lot of pottery. So I was looking for something that was also lightweight. I didn't want anything really heavy that would be hard to move. So I opted for some cast stone ones. So I want to show you my planters. Now, maybe you have a front entryway similar to mine, as far as maybe you have extra room that you could put a bench or a chair for seating and dress it up a little bit. And if you have a spot in your front of your home that you have a mailbox area, I want to show you my little mailbox garden. So I expanded on that. It used to be just a mailbox, and I changed out the mailbox to make it a little bit more my style. I wanted something with a planter box on it that I could put a beautiful plant in. Now, keep in mind, I told you in our last video, I am going for low maintenance this year. Everything here is hand watered. I have no drip irrigation. So with warm, hot, humid summers here in Illinois, I don't want to spend every single night out watering planters and window boxes. So we are cutting back this year. So my goal this year was not only to have European inspired, but also to have something that would be more drought tolerant in my planters. And I think I've accomplished that. And I'll link everything that I'm talking about today that's still available. If it's not available, I'll link some similar items if I can find them for you. So if you're looking for what I'm showing today, you can easily pick those up. So let's get going. I went to lots of stores and looked at a lot of online sites looking for something that gave me that European inspired pottery jar look. Can you see that it kind of has that rough texture? You can see it gives the look of stone, that texture, even though it is not. So it's super lightweight. Now in the littler version, it comes in 2 sizes, and I opted to go with 1 of each size. So I really like these. I picked these up at Lowe's, and it's already bloomed. I've cut it back, and now it's putting out new growth, and it's getting ready to bloom again. This lavender was called provincial lavender. There's 2 plants in there, and look how long those are. It's just gorgeous. And the bumblebees, oh my, they just really like it. And then I did tuck a little white filler at the bottom, which I think I may end up taking out and planting somewhere else. I thought maybe it would look good to add that in there, but I honestly don't think I need it in there, so I may pull that out. Okay, this rug goes really well with the look I'm going for. It picks up the black in my brick, but also gives me that European look that I like. And then the black bench. Let's talk about this black bench. It's metal. I've had it for several years, and it's moved all around outside in different areas. So I like it here because it doesn't have arms on it, so it's perfect to set up on. And this is more for, let's be real here, it's more for a look than actually setting. We do set on it occasionally. I picked up a linen pillow to put on it in that creamy color, and tied in our urns. Let's back up a bit here. Tied in our urns, can you see we did a triangle? So I bought a small pottery piece and put some faux lavender in it. So we've got a triangle of our white pots, we've got our linen pillow, and then right over here, kind of blends in a little bit, but you can see it by next to the door. I have my wicker basket with my white faux flowers in it, and I do like that, and I will change that out as the season progresses, but I do like that right now. Our big news is we are getting a new front door. So this is going to be changing. So stay tuned because we'll do an update once our front door gets installed. Right now it's on special order and I can't wait to show you because it is changing up. Okay, I'm going to start you out just if you're walking up on my sidewalk, what you would actually see. And we're going to keep it real because that's how I like to do it. I don't want to give you the impression that everything's perfect because it is not. We are having a little spiral dwarf Alberta spruce that's really struggling this year. It's been here for about 3 years and I don't know if it's the brick or the rocks, but this year it is struggling, so that may have to come out. This is a little lime looking gorgeous. Double red knockout rose, variegated hosta right there. Now I told you on the knockout roses, you can see I have not deadheaded it, so that's what it looks like if you have not deadheaded it. I like these because they give you the look of an old English type rose, but they're easier to care for. And this will flower all summer long. And then on this side we have another hydrangea, but this is little quickfire. We've got a little lime there. Now this is a standard of a little quickfire, which is just getting ready to open in all of its blooms. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Now it is very, very pretty. I will tell you, if you do this, I've had this for about 3 years and it does have to continually be staked. And if you've done any research on the hydrangea standards, they are very top heavy, even when you trim them back a lot. So we just keep it staked. It's filling out a lot this year. And so last year I did prune it back quite a bit just to get some of that weight off. And we'll see if we need to do that again this year. Now this is a David Austin red climbing rose. This is Tess. And I put her on this side to match with the other side's red knockout because I didn't want another knockout rose over here. So I decided to do that. And then we've got a little lime here that hasn't grown as much as the other ones, but that's another hydrangea. And then we've got our arborvitae that's in the spiral form with the daylily. Okay, and then the mailbox garden. So this will fill in more. A lot of annuals I like to use because I like to change the colors up every year. We do have our foundation plants. We have the double red knockout and it balances out the one that's at the front of the house in the landscaping. We have a little boxwood next to it that's filling in. And then on this side, I do have coneflower that every year comes back. Now you can see in the actual planter of the mailbox, this year I did that dark red ivy geranium, very European. Doesn't take as much water as, let's say, a petunia. And a tip on this, if you have a planter window box you're trying to fill in, this was actually a hanging basket that I purchased and then put it in the window into that planter. I made it really easy because I wanted it to be full. I didn't want to start with little baby, like little 4-inch pots and fill in and have them grow. I wanted it to look great from the get-go. So that's an easy tip if you're wanting something to look more established. Buy it already potted up and then replant it in your planter of choice. So we can see down here I put a lavender on each side of the mailbox, and then we have some salvia, some purple flowers, some white zinnias that are annuals that will fill in very nicely there, some white alyssum. That yellow marigold, that was a volunteer. I do have a lot of volunteers that came back. A lot of the salvia, Victoria blue salvia, I use every year and absolutely love that in cut flower arrangements. And then the bumblebees love it out here. Well, it comes back on its own. So I've got little plants, little volunteers all over. So I'll be interested to see how this fills in over the summer. Well, I hope that gave you some ideas for planters. If you're looking for some lightweight stone-looking planters or some low-maintenance plants or a beautiful new mailbox for your mailbox area. Well, have a great week. And if you are wanting to see what the garden looked like a couple weeks ago in the back garden,